By God. Correct? Adam and Eve. Correct?
Yep.
So then all of the people on the earth come from Adam and Eve, right?
Okay.
So I'm just bringing it down. So now when we're talking about the people of Israel, aren't those still the relatives of Adam and Eve?
They are the relatives, yes sir.
Okay, so then aren't they all, so as in everyone that's walking the earth, God's people?
No, now this is where you forgot. What happened after the lineage of Adam? What happened to the whole earth? What happened to the whole earth? God did what? The flood. Who was left from the flood?
Noah.
Noah and?
His family.
Who were the sons? You got it?
I don't remember the names on top.
Ham is one. Shem is two. You got it. No, that's the Babylon. That's Babylon. Japheth. Shem. Ready? So pay attention because this is a big point. You were right until we got to here. Shem, Ham, and Japheth were the three progenitors that came from Noah. From those three...
You definitely know your stuff.
No, it's not about that.
I'm giving you a hint.
It's not about that.
I know that, but you know your stuff, and it's good.
So Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? From those three... Brothers. From those three brothers came all the nations. Now, did God separate them as they presented, as they gave a lineage? Let's see. Second Ezra. I like it. Hey. Second Ezra, let's read it. You got it? But we're going to read it.
But they're still relatives, that's what I'm saying.
They're still relatives, but God tells you what he did. Read.
Second Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also.
He mentioned Adam. We all come from Adam, right? Read.
Whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all.
We all come from Adam.
Yeah.
But what did God do? Read.
And the people also.
No, read it slow. And the people.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
So, even though everybody came from Adam, God set apart a chosen. Like the same way God's favorite bird is a dove, God has a favorite people. So let's keep reading though. I want to keep reading. Read. Read verse 55.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
So, our sakes is the same where it says the people that thou hast chosen. Read.
As for the other people.
That was the question. What about everybody else? What about everybody else? Michael. It was Michael, right? I'm terrible at names. Damn, I'm sorry. Don't hold it against me.
No swearing.
That's not what that's talking about.
We can't be picking and choosing the least of the commandments.
No, swearing means an oath. It means an oath.
Oh man, listen, don't be taking, that's a slippery slope.
Oh God, not the slippery slope. I thought we put that past us. Read that. But hey, focus first on the other people, right? It said, and the other people, which was Justin's point. Read.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam.
They also came from Adam. Read.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
Hold on. So now watch. I heard that.
Read.
Keep going.
But be like unto spittle.
Yeah, but what?
But keep going.
No. What did it say?
I know. Keep reading.
What is spittle?
I shouldn't have interrupted him.
What is spittle though?
I don't know.
Spit. Read.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
So what does that mean? If you have a bucket full of water, you ever carried a bucket of water? What happens as you're walking?
A drop falls out.
And do you go back and get it?
No.
I'm just reading the Bible. Read.
You're right.
And now, O Lord.
And now, O Lord, understanding that, read.
Behold, these heathen.
These what?
These heathen.
What's a heathen?
It's the other nations, the Gentiles, outside the covenant.
Another word for pig.
Damn! Read.
Which have ever been reputed as nothing.
So God said, now Ezra is writing this, Ezra is saying, hey God, all these other people that have been reputed as nothing, read.
Have begun to be lords over us.
These people are now lords over us. How do you see that today? Who runs America? Can you just come around the other side? I'm sorry, Smith.
Slavery.
Slavery, yes. But now God says that these people are above us. A majority of countries that have wealth are European countries. A majority of those countries that Israelites dwell in themselves are still ran by colonial people.
Agreed, but that's the reason why it says in the Bible that we should sell off all things and pick up our cross and follow God.
We'll get that, but that's not quite what it's talking about.
Sell off all things?
That's not what we got to do. We don't got to sell everything. Yes, sir. But do you get what it says?
I know what you're saying, but I want you to
Yes, sir.
read St. John 3:17.
What version?
Let's start. Can we start at 16?
Start at 16.
All right, let's start at 16. Let's get to the point. Get the point. Officer David, I'm getting tired. I got one more answer. We're going to do John 3:16 after that. All right? Hey, you've been on the bike. I've been speaking a lot, so I'm going to get the next brother on there, all right?
I was just at choir rehearsal before I came here.
But the point is, what I want y'all to remember, though, before we switch, we have to keep the commandments of God and the faith of Christ.
I agree.
Right? And Christ was never described as a man of white lineage.
Right.
He was described as a black man. He said we know that he shaved it off, right? He did that. It's kind of... I just want to make sure. Read. John 3. Let's start at verse 1. Context. Would you agree we got to get context at 17?
I mean, if that's the case, you may as well start at the beginning.
Oh, damn.
In every other
My man knows that. He don't even like to smile.
Why not start where I just said from?
Okay, we'll start that. Hey, that's fine. Let's start at verse 16.
John chapter 3 verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
Okay, my question to y'all. Majority of the time the church will say that the world is talking about everybody, right? So now, let me ask you this.
Wait a minute, ain't that what it said? Wait a minute, is that not what it said?
It did say world.
That God so loved the world,
right,
that he gave his only begotten Son,
Not certain people.
that whosoever believe in him shall not perish.
So now,
is that what the word said?
It did say that. Now, let me ask you this. Does Christ contradict himself? Never does. So now, I'm going to find what seemingly might be a contradiction. We got to talk about... we got to read it.
Wait a minute, I just want to hear what you said.
Yeah.
What seemingly might seem like a contradiction.
That sounds like you leaning on your own understanding.
No, let's read it. Matthew 15 and 24. I want y'all to tell me, how do we justify what John 3:16 says versus what Christ says? Let's read this.
Wait a minute, John 3:16 is who said that?
Christ.
Okay.
Exactly, that's my point. If you pay attention, that's my point. So if Christ is saying both verses, is he schizophrenic? Let's see, read.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So Christ said, show it. Christ said, I am not sent, but unto the house of Israel. So if he is not sent, except only to them, why did God say, I have gave my only begotten Son to the world? So let me know, what's the difference between those two verses? Can you tell me? I just want to hear what your thoughts are.
Let's hear the whole matter.
Okay, Isaiah 45:17.
Wait a minute. The whole matter is, what did God tell Peter to do when he told him to go to the Gentiles?
To teach all nations.
To teach
them.
All nations.
Okay, but
not some nations.
All nations.
He told him to go, and when he told him to go to the one house, the house was saying that they was unclean. He said, whatever I say is don't
Let
call
your
it
peace
unclean.
be with you.
Yeah, peace be with you. Yeah.
And he told them to go to that house. People said, no, I don't mess with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But because God told him that's to go to, because he was going to the Gentiles.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The ones that was lost, the ones that was separated.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To bring them over.
Because
So I get you.
That's to say whosoever.
Okay.
Because even though you might not be in the family or not,
you can become the family.
you can become in. You can be grafted in.
I agree with you.
Okay. So now, is that everything?
I agree with what he just said.
So now my question to you is, can you now explain why there's a difference in these two verses? What is, through that theology, through all that, one second, I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to rephrase it. Through all that theology we just talked about, why is there two different statements out of Christ's mouth?
Because originally when Christ, okay, so let me say it like that. When God sent Jesus, I believe the first chosen people were the Jews, if I'm not mistaken, and then they did not adopt the teachings of Jesus, and God then sent him to the Gentiles.
But why is
hold on, I'm asking a question. Is that correct what I just said?
Not quite.
Okay, well,
now,
Jews and Israelites.
same thing.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So now, the only problem with that logic, though, is we just read John 3, right? That's the 3rd chapter. I thought we just read the opposite in Matthew 15.
Say Matthew again.
15 and 24, which means this is a little bit after. So if that was the logic, that doesn't follow the timeline. But let's read it again.
But those are
I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you the true understanding of it. Read.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So he's not sent but unto Israel. That was after John 3. So what is the difference? Let's get 2 verses quick, and I need you. All right? Give me Isaiah 45 and 17, and then let's jump to Acts 2 and 21. We're going to touch 2 words, brother. Robert. 2 words. 1, world, and 2, whosoever. Who are they talking about? Because the understanding is, the reason why there's a difference between the 2 is because the word it was referencing in John 3:16 is Israel. It is. It is the same way somebody says, hey, who do you think is the best? What if I said this to you? Who do you think is the best president in the sports world?
Yeah, come see me, son.
You'd be like, there are no presidents in sports. That's a political scene. There are different worlds. There are different definitions of the word world. World, according to the Bible, when you look at the Bible dictionary, the world means a class or group of people with common characteristics or pursuits. That is the definition of that word. So now, read what world is. Robert, please listen. Read.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
So it said Israel would be saved. But I thought it said John 3:16, God loved the world that they could be saved. It said Israel will be saved. Read.
With an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed.
You shall not be ashamed. Why does it say we shouldn't be ashamed? Because every time we say it's just going to be us getting saved, we start to get a little, and you see people's face contorting when we say that. You shall not be ashamed. Read.
Nor confounded. World.
Wait, what word does it say there?
World.
Ye shall be what?
Nor confounded. World without end.
So the world it was talking about, Robert, we just read in Isaiah, it is Israel. Now what about the whosoever? Because maybe somebody can get grafted in. Whosoever, no. When you read Acts 2 and 21, they were already teaching the people in other countries, right? Because there was a spirit of tongues, right? So who are they talking to in those different countries? This goes back to Justin's first point when he was here. His first point was, you can find black people in every country. You're right, Justin. And among those people, the children of the slave trade, those are Israelites. That's why they went to go teach all nations, to find them. But we're going to read it in Acts 2. This is what whosoever means. Read.
Acts 2 and verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
You agree? Whosoever shall be called in the name of the Lord shall be saved? You agree? Let's read the next verse in the context. Read.
Ye men of Israel!
Ye who?
Ye men of Israel!
Who is it talking to?
Ye men of Israel!
not women.
Hear these words! Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs.
So who is the message to when he said whosoever? It was to the Israelites.
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.